To the people who lie down and fall asleep within minutes. How? Submitted by Jordan B. 56. I don't know. I can drink a cup of coffee at midnight and still be asleep by 12:30. It might have something to do with the fact that the only thing I do in my bed is sleep. So I think my body is conditioned to just fall asleep when I'm horizontal. If you're in a constant state of exhaustion, it's pretty easy. IDK. I just breathe while focusing on each part of my body. I make my bedroom my place for sleep. That means turning my phone off or airplane mode, shutting the door, making sure there's nothing whirring or flashing in the room. In terms of mental tricks, if I'm really struggling to sleep from restlessness or stress, I, for lack of a better description, walk downstairs. Picture a spiral staircase that leads down to nowhere in particular. Breathe slowly, and start walking. Be tired. I used to take forever to fall asleep. Lay in bed for at least an hour thinking about stuff before I fell asleep. Then I had a kid. I'm tired all the time, and if my kid doesn't sleep, I don't sleep. I'm up at 5 every day and in bed by 9:30 and fall asleep in minutes. I'm not saying you need to have a kid. Just expend more energy. Go to the gym. Don't sleep in etc. When you're tired enough, you'll fall asleep. I have obstructive sleep apnea, so I never get good sleep and I am tired all the time. So when I lay down or even just sit down, if I am not doing something, I will fall asleep. Of course I choke and wake up. Freaks out anyone who watches me sleep. It's fucking miserable. Someone said people who fall asleep fast have no thoughts. That's not true at all. I'm kind of an ADHD kid. My mind is going 100 miles per hour all the time. Used to keep me awake a lot when I was younger before I started having this problem this year also. Fucking miserable. Edit. First time something I said has ever blown up. Glad my most upvoted comment isn't a dick joke or something. Guess I'll answer some questions. I was born without a nostril in the right side of my nose. You wouldn't have been able to tell from the outside, but the inside of my nose just wasn't there on the right side. I had a few surgeries to fix that when I was a kid, but I've always had a deviated septum. I've always snored, but not bad enough to keep me awake. As I've gotten older, it's gotten worse. It's a self-diagnosis, but a very obvious one. I'm 6'4" and I weigh 280 pounds. I do a lot of heavy lifting in the gym and have for a while. I'm not the biggest, but am a pretty large guy. I have some fat that I could lose, but on my frame it's not really a whole lot. Maybe 40 pounds would probably help to put the little Debbie down, though. It's been a problem for only a few years now. I haven't gone to the doctor about this, but you all have joined a chorus of people in my life who keep telling me to go. The reason I haven't is because I've had a job that keeps me moving around the country and haven't had time. I now have a desk job, though, and will be taking care of it soon. Pretty sure it will be the surgery option given my history. Not looking forward to it. It's like a superpower, honestly. No idea how it works. Honestly, the few days where it takes more than like 2 to 3 minutes are weird for me. I only go to bed when I feel sleepy. You need to clean up your mind. If you have brain activity, you will take much longer to sleep. That's why I always take a huge amount of time to sleep when I am worried about something. If you keep thinking about problem X or situation Y, you will take a lot of time to sleep. It is important to worry about problems and resolve them this year, but it is also important to forget them for a good rest. Exhaustion. I sleep generally 4 hours a night and have a highly mentally taxing job. When I go to bed, I sleep. That's my secret, Captain. I'm always sleepy. I am this person. It works because I go to sleep and wake up at the same time. 12 to 7. Every day. Therefore, my body is used to this regime, and every day at 11:45 p.m. I become very sleepy, and when I lie down, I am asleep within minutes. Even if I stay up a bit longer on Friday, I still wake up at 7 and feel fresh. Another thing that helps is not to bring your phone, laptop, tablet to the bed. I put it away before my evening hygiene routine. Try to get into a routine as soon as you can. It might be painful for the first week or so, but then you will get used to it and sleep like a baby. Chronic exhaustion, and antidepressants that not only stop most of my anxious thoughts, but make me sleepy 24/7. It's BC we're tired. I decay, but my dad can do that while the TV is at like volume 1,000,000, and every time I question my own sanity. I do a bunch of things to prepare for bedtime and they help me 90% of the time to just pass right out. The big obvious things are no caffeine, coffee or chocolate, within 8 hours of bedtime, and going to bed at the same time every day. I go for a good long walk with my dogs about 2 hours before I go to sleep. I also drink a liter of water right before bed, and try to read a physical book for a while right before I turn out the lights and go to sleep. I also cut down on all light and sound. I have blackout blinds and I wear earplugs. I'm attuned enough to my alarm clock noise that I still wake up on time. Then I just focus on my breathing very intensely, which is enough for me to pass out right away most nights. If not, there's always pot, alcohol, and an extremely busy lifestyle and a toddler. Cannabis indica right before going to bed always does the trick. Have zero problem falling asleep. It's staying asleep that's the issue. I'll wake up to pee a couple of hours after going to bed and be awake for 1 or 2 hours before being able to get back to sleep every bloody night. Clear conscience. I'll give you my father's answer to this question. I close my right eye, then I close my left eye, and I go to sleep. Either get a physical job or exercise. Exhaustion. My question is, how do people lay down without falling right to sleep? It feels so nice to lay your head on a soft pillow and let the day be over. I feel bad for people who have a problem with this. It's one of the great pleasures in life. Have a child. Going to bed at the right time while not stressed. If I'm stressed, I stay up late to unwind and then can't fall asleep within minutes, which means I am tired the next day, which reinforces stress, which causes me to not be able to fall asleep within minutes. If I am not particularly stressed and go to bed at a normal time, I sometimes try to read, but I will fall asleep instantaneously. If you can't sleep, do the following. No screens before sleep or activate blue mode. Kindle Fire has that. Changes the light composition of the tablet screen to avoid activating the light sensors that regulate the circadian clock. Change the time you go to bed at. You might be trying to live against your inner clock, which is a stupid idea. Don't be stressed. Yeah, I know. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The old token stroke. Smoke some weed, beat that meat, and you'll be out in less than 3. I decay, but my dad was able to do that. He literally would lay down for 5 minutes and be able to fall asleep. I was so jealous of that BC. It takes me forever to fall asleep. I burn myself out. It's more like passing than falling asleep. Also, no caffeine after 5 p.m. at the latest. Slow down with chores. No TV or devices when trying to fall asleep. 1. Doing some stretches or simple yoga right before bed helps me fall asleep. This is the biggest one for me personally. I follow along YouTube videos to do yoga. I feel like my normal days make my body feel quite tense, but stretching really helps get rid of the tenseness so my muscles feel relaxed and I can fall asleep easier. Listening to a yoga instructor with a soft voice also relaxes me and clears my head. 2. Practice good sleep hygiene. It's cliché, but it's important. Don't play on your phone or watch TV in bed. Avoid excessive napping. No caffeine in the evening. Go to bed and wake up around the same time every day, even on your days off. Or at the very least, don't sleep in very late. On work days I wake up at 8 am. On weekends I wake up at 9 am. 3. Don't do any activities that are too mentally stimulating when it's close to bedtime, such as an exciting video game or exciting TV series. I like to watch Bob Ross though, or I'll do some light tidying up around the house. 4. A hot drink can help too. Something like chamomile tea or warm milk can make you feel relaxed and drowsy. 5. Having a busy day helps me fall asleep too. So don't just come home from work and then spend the next 5 hours binging TV or Redditing. Run an errand, do some chores, go for a walk, exercise, play guitar, etc. Just do something, even if it's really quick or short. 6. White noise apps can help too. I like apps that play rainy sounds. 7. I like to use dim lighting. I have a few small lamps when it's late in the evenings and getting close to bedtime, instead of using the bright ceiling lights. Well, it only happens when I'm really tired. And even then sometimes I randomly stand up and feel I have some energy left. Simple, I'm always absolutely exhausted. Learned it in boot camp, and it just became something I could do. Exhausted after a long day. Wake up at 6:30, gym, lifting weights for an hour, work, etc. I stopped smoking. 16,000 steps doing hard physical labor. Add 2 ibuprofen, a small meal, a hot shower, and a soft bed and I'm gone. Head hits pillow and the next thing I know it's morning. Eating healthy and exercise. It's called a clean conscience. You know what you did. No fucking clue. 6:02 Eastern Daylight Saving Time and still can't sleep. Due up in an hour or so. FML. By being tired before lying down. By not interfering with my sleep cycle in advance by way of screens in my face. Intense activity, personal drama, or stimulants. The rare times where I'm fortunate to have a camping, cabin-like experience away from the city. Being exposed to natural darkness and not just the absence of screen time lighting in advance. I work full-time, then gym, then I stay up too late playing video games. If you're always exhausted, you fall asleep fast. If I skip the gym for a few days, I find that I have too much energy and then I can't sleep.